Battlefield 6 launched with a host of great maps with some impressive gameplay. Whilst not having the largest scale in the series, they all play fairly well across many different game modes. I've logged about 50 hours with the game, including the campaign, which I will be posting a review of in the next week or so I've been able to experience a lot of what the game has to offer. I've primarily played Rush, Conquest, and Breakthrough, and have completed most of my initiation challenges, besides the repair vehicle ones, as well as the engineer challenge or the week 1 weekly challenge, but that's another issue for another day. What I'd like to talk about right now is the attacker on Breakthrough on Mirak Valley experience. A quick Google search will show a slew of complaints from players and editors alike, as literally anyone who has played Breakthrough on this map at least twice will notice the pattern. The attackers can never seem to push past the first zone objectives, and you will be lucky to see them ever get halfway through capturing one of the points, let alone holding one or both for any period of time. This is an issue that I believe possibly stems from the fact that there was supposed to be a tank spawn for the attackers, since you're able to see it in the display menu, and at some points of the video on the minimap, the tank resupply station. I've seen other people complaining that they can't get the tank to spawn as well, so that really seems to be the key issue here and would be a simple fix. But let's dive into why, in the current state, this just doesn't work, and how you can almost guarantee will never make it past the first point of this map, whether you're attacking or defending, because the attackers simply will just never make it through. Vehicles are extremely important to the gameplay in these staple Battlefield game modes, as the developers have balanced the modes around them, and when you have a map set up the way that you do here, it honestly becomes a necessity. As you can see from this gameplay I recorded of my most recent match, you spawn out in the back in a rather open portion of road. While you do have some trees, some rundown vehicles, and an occasional hill, in order to push forward you have to traverse through the areas that are wide open, or have many choke points from all forward and side angles. My friends and I went into this match knowing this would be a free loss, but we wanted to see what we could do to move forward. I don't consider myself the most strategic or best player in Battlefield, nor do they, but we are fairly good at first-person shooter games. We wanted to coordinate and try to work with each other as best as possible to progress past this point, and throughout my gameplay you will see me make use of the open class system, mixing and matching different styles to see how I could support them in this effort. Our initial idea was to just play the smoking game, using a support to smoke out choke points and push up as a group. The issue, as mentioned before, is every angle is a choke point, and there is no real way of getting through without being seen by at least 2 or 3 people that often have high ground or are holding a head glitch angle. While having a squad is helpful, and I'm a fairly firm believer one squad can shape the outcome of a match in this game, which is one of the reasons I enjoy playing it so much, unless you have a squad of demons all running support, all throwing 3 smoke grenades just to get into the point, that are able to then hold it together against the onslaught of people coming from the other objective that is close by, it's just not going to happen, due to being outnumbered and the rest of your team more than likely not pushing with you to secure the point. You may be able to control the behavior of 4 people when playing in a partied up squad, but you certainly cannot control the behavior of 28 others. That's where having the tank could resolve this issue. When a tank is moving in, a gunner alone is able to chop through multiple infantry, or at the very least force them to reposition. Forcing the defending team to relocate to one area of the map, or at least disperse, would allow the attackers a window to be able to focus on a single objective. This would not create any new balancing issues, as the player count in Mirak Valley, for Breakthrough at least, is 32 versus 32. Having just 2 engineers would be able to counteract a singular tank, especially with a map this open. While small, it would relieve infantry enough to make a push. Whereas right now you can see from my aerial drone footage, the map is just so caked with defensive high ground and choke points, littered with players that can see you from 100 meters away until you get to the point, that the attacking infantry is unable to proceed or make any plays. I've ran through the Battlefield Comms X page just to see if there was any mention of this directly from the developers, and as of today, Friday, October 18th, there ain't shit. I do see them having to make some changes to this, whether it be adding a tank or reducing player counts, moving objective locations further up towards the attacker's HQ deployment spot, but whatever they choose, I'm sure that it'll alleviate a lot of the attacker's tension when playing Breakthrough in Mirak Valley. Now, what do you guys think? Has anyone played a match where the attackers have pushed past the first zone? I've seen some people say they have, but I have not seen it for myself for certain. Is the tank a good or bad idea, and is there anything else that you have in mind that could increase the attacker's chances of making a push? Let me know down in the comments, and don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it and subscribe for future Battlefield and PC gaming content. Thank you.